If we all dropped everything and exclusively fought for intersex rights, we would all have our rights.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, Nazis are pretty f***ing gay.
Yeah.
Lady in the Trans podcast. Where we believe in science. We don't believe in God. Only science. Science will solve all the problems. That's the trans agenda.
Trans people in science gonna save the day.
Solve the problems with us. With science. Science, bitch.
To my trans agenda, I'm returning trans.
The Malta Declaration was basically just like a demand for the world for the type of intersex rights that intersex people would like.
Okay.
They asked for 17 points. And the thing about these 17 points is if these 17 points were actually enacted, trans people would have equality.
What are the 17 points?
Firstly, they wanted to affirm the existence of intersex people. Second, they wanted to demand an end to discrimination against intersex people. Third, they wanted to demand bodily integrity, physical autonomy, and self-determination. Fourth, they wanted to call for an end to pre-implantation genetic diagnostics.
Pre-implantation genetic diagnostics. What is that?
That is when someone's getting in vitro, and before they plant the embryo, they do a genetic test to see if it's going to have like Down syndrome or if it might be intersex. And there's like a list of things on that. They're like, if it has these things, we're not going to implant it. We're going to grab another embryo. We're going to toss this one. So like,
That's eugenics.
it's literally eugenics, you guys. It's literally eugenics.
It's eugenics.
They've simply decided which people are allowed to exist, and if it would be a certain person, they cancel the person. Another thing that the Intersex Forum called for was an end to selective abortion, which is when they do a prenatal screening of either implanted or unimplanted embryo and decide to terminate the pregnancy based on whatever disabilities it may end up having. So the intersex people have already incorporated rights for Down syndrome people, trans people, intersex people, anyone who might be on a eugenics list. If this right passes, if people start taking this seriously, that's an end.
Covers
you know?
everybody.
It covers everybody. They've called for an end to infanticide and murders because that is a huge problem still to this day in a lot of parts of the world, especially developing nations. They wanted to demand the depathologization of intersex as a disease or a disorder because it is currently classified as both in most places.
As a disease and a disorder?
It is most places, and in the United States, it's a disorder.
It doesn't even affect your everyday. You just have
Literally.
whatever it is.
It has no impact on your actual life.
People go their whole lives intersex without even knowing.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect them. Why would you? Wow.
Yeah. So in a lot of places in the world, if an intersex baby is born, if they're not going to do a non-consensual surgery on the baby, they will classify them as intersex on their gender or sex marker on the birth certificate. So one of the things they've called for is to register intersex babies as either female or male and accept that they may grow and identify differently.
Okay, that would
That's what I'm saying.
that would solve
That's what I'm
all of
saying.
the problems trans people have in
That's
childhood.
what I'm saying.
Damn, bitch, I'm so glad we're doing this episode.
I know. If it's written into law that you have to accept that the birth gender might change.
I'm gonna make so many TikToks about this.
That's what I'm saying.
Bitch, this is amazing.
Yes. The next thing is they've called to ensure that sex or gender classifications are amendable worldwide, because in a lot of countries you can't change it, and in a lot of countries you can, but it's very difficult. So they want a law passed that like you can just change it and it's not hard and you can just like fill out a form and it's changed.
Okay,
Regardless of diagnosis of gender dysphoria or whatever.
I think it's strange that we have our gender listed and race listed on who cares? Who fucking cares?
A lot of people are also that it wasn't part of the declaration, but a lot of intersex people are saying like literally just abolish it. Like we don't need that on our IDs.
It's stupid. Why does someone have to when they're checking for my birthday to make sure I can get into a bar? Why do they need to know?
JK, it's literally the next thing on the declaration. So they called for an end to race, gender and sex as categories on birth certificates and IDs.
Fuck yeah.
They wanted to raise awareness of intersex issues and rights. They wanted to create safe and celebratory places for intersex people. That could be like intersex holidays, intersex
Why don't we have an
places.
Do we have an intersex thing in the LGBTQ?
We in the LGBTQ?
Yeah.
IA.
Oh, the I is for
I is
intersex.
for intersex.
I don't know what I thought that stood
Yeah.
for.
LGBTQIA.
Yeah.
The 12th point on the Malta Declaration was a call for full access to personal medical records.
Yeah.
Why not? Why isn't that a thing? Why did Christiane Voling need to file paperwork
To get her medical
to get
records
her own medical records that had been
that are
hidden from
literally
her?
about her.
They have called for better training for healthcare workers on how to deal specifically with intersex people, because I guess nurses and doctors are incredibly rude and ask way too many invasive questions a lot of the times because they just don't deal with intersex people very often. So they want better training or a specific intersex training course for healthcare workers. They've called for anti-discrimination legislation. They have called to ensure equal rights and citizenship, aka the right to marry and have a family, which a lot of times you can't, because if there's if there's, especially in places that don't allow gay marriage, if your chromosomes for some reason don't align with your gender, then you can't get married.
So if it's known that you are intersex, there are places where, do you know what places, can you think
I don't have a list, but November 7th, the day this releases, the Supreme Court is going to decide whether gay marriage is legal here. And if they decide that it's not anymore, here will be a place. The United States will be a place where intersex people cannot marry half of the people that they want to, or maybe can't marry at all, especially if their birth certificate says they're intersex as their gender, because then there is no one you're allowed to marry, because you have to marry. If they define marriage as between a man and a woman, an intersex person is classified as neither.
That's so stupid. The whole being against equal rights for marriage thing just blows. Why do you care? Mind your fucking business. Shut the fuck up and mind your business. I don't give a shit that you read the Bible.
Yeah.
You don't read the Bible, though. Most people that are religious don't read the scripture that they believe in so hard.
Yep.
No one gives a shit about your religion.
I mean, they do, but
yeah, well,
no one else.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
No one else
That's
does.
the thing. You have freedom to have your religion.
You can't force it upon everyone.
You don't have a freedom to impose it on others.
Talk about the queers are shoving shit down people's throats. Look at the fucking Christians in this country right now.
Yeah.
It's always projection. It just pisses me off.
And the last thing that they called for in the Malta Declaration is equal access to sports participation.
Yeah, as they should.
Yeah. So again, if all those things pass, they've ensured rights for everyone.
Yeah.
Trans people gain every single right we've been pushing for. Cis people gain all those same rights.
Yes.
Queer people gain their rights. Because, intersex is this perfect overlap of every key issue of sex, of gender, of sexual identity, of everything that is queer. Intersex people, at least there's at least one, there's probably millions that apply to every category of LGBTQIA.
Yeah.
It's crazy. If we all dropped everything and exclusively fought for intersex rights, we would all have our rights.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're doing this episode. Holy shit.
So I might literally just stop pushing for trans rights and just start pushing for intersex rights.
People. Yeah.
Because it's something cis people can wrap their minds around a little bit more, because there's a more clear genetic basis for it.
That's what I was going to say too. That's another reason I wanted to know more about intersex people, because with trans people that maybe aren't intersex, they don't understand it because it's it's partially a psychological thing. And we can't explain the physiological thing that is happening. But with intersex people, if somebody is born with both, that person exists and this is a thing. You cannot argue against it. You're seeing it with your own eyes. There are physical things that can be explained that are tangible for common people that are dumb and can't wrap their heads around things. So it's easier to argue and also get them to understand, I feel like.
Yeah.
Lady and the Trans Podcast. Where we believe in science. We don't believe in God, only science.